lost our minds in the darkness of night. We live to die. We lose our souls every day. We lost our minds. We don't remember what's wrong and what's right. The world is dead but we stay. 'Cause we are born as living fights. We live to die. We live to die. And we surrounded by the night. We live to die. We are shadows in the neon light. We are shadows in the neon light. We are just shadows. It's supposed to be that we die. It doesn't matter if there is no light anymore, no light anymore. 'Cause we are born as living fights. We live to die. We live to die. And we surrounded by the night. We live to die. We are shadows in the neon light. We are shadows in the neon light. Shadows in the neon. We are
Yo, what's going on? What's that happening? What's that? What is happening? I don't even really know yet. All right. What do we think's going to happen? I think we're ready for a downside. that might be later. Ooh.
You know, everything is affected by the choppiness in the forex markets. When everything is this choppy, it will start to spread its wings and spread like a disease to other markets as well. So I think if the pound gets even more strong, or the New Zealand dollar starts to show weakness consistently on the H4, the daily, or the weekly time frames, I think then you really have a better trade setup. But I'm looking for a price breakout at 2.2559, and past there, ultimately, again, we can retest these highs that it has made, which is all the way up to 2.325. Yeah, it's almost the same story as the pound Aussie, but you know, for forex, that's pretty much it. The only other two things I wanted to talk about was gold, and I'm not really interested in anything in gold for now. It seems gold needs to take a few more days, or just a little bit more time to kind of set up and do something with itself, because it's just in a massive 1,000 pip range. You know, this range is from here to down here. You know, this range that it's currently in, it's just making a lot of unpredictable moves. You can never really predict things, but they're not smooth, is what I'm saying. You know, they start to reverse whenever they want to. They start to make random movements whenever they want to, and it's just not clean. It's very hard to sit in a trade and make a sizable amount of profit. However, you can, you know, just because this range is very large, you can certainly trade the intraday momentum and grab a couple of pips. It's just the long-term trends are just they're not really there anymore. You know, the weekly trend is still in place, but the daily is completely consolidating, and so is the 4-hour. So with that in mind, I'm looking for. I have a straddle alert set on this pair currently, and for a buy plan, if I'm interested in buying gold, I'm only interested in buying once it breaches 33.70 and potentially, you know, 33.55 as well. But I really have to see some sort of consistency on the smaller time frames at the time of entry if any of those two price alerts break out. But for a sell plan, if I'm interested in selling gold, I'm really only interested in selling if it reaches 32.60. If it breaches that price alert, again, look for consistency. I want every single gold pair to be moving in the same direction, and with preferably some cross-currency weakness, or sorry, strength in play, because we're selling it. You know, I want the dollar to be strong and gold to be weak if I was selling it. And I think that's the same story for everything I've been doing with every other pair and the way I analyze the market. And ultimately, the last instrument I wanted to look at is crypto. You know, Bitcoin specifically. Bitcoin is starting to form a new weekly uptrend, and last time we
Actually, I
had
thought I seen something different on the volume, so
cross to the upside,
we
Bitcoin
probably
moved
would
for
have got
6
in
weeks,
here.
you know, in an uptrend, you know, for just 6 weeks straight up. And that, you know, I don't know if that's going to happen right now. The market's just really wild and choppy, but you know, the trend indicators have certainly, they're very strong on the daily time frame, and they're consolidating very, very nicely on this 4-hour chart. I got into a Bitcoin trade last week, and you can see my entry point was right around here. We moved up, and we're just starting to consolidate. I scaled out my profits once I
thought
saw
that was
the
a really
1-hour
good trade.
time frame start to
All right, we're gonna bounce
pinch
right
off,
here,
and the juice kind of just ran out. But I'm just waiting for a breakout of 95.
so maybe we just got trapped. We are looking for a sell
Past
side
there,
only.
we really do have a strong
I know
chance
what we're
at retesting
thinking,
these highs.
but
And
this
with
really
that
does
being
look like
said,
it wants to
if
push up.
Bitcoin
That's
does
why.
move, you know, it's not. I think it's gonna move the other cryptos up as well. You know, Ethereum, the weekly is starting to point sideways on the trend indicators, and we're starting to have a fresh cross to the upside on the daily time frame. It's currently consolidating in this daily range, but I think it can certainly break through and start moving up as well. You know, XRP is a bit of a different story. It just looks way too choppy, but you know, the same thing is kind of in place. Is that the weekly time frame is going completely sideways. The daily time frame is starting to move up into a strong trend. I think we're just consolidating, you know, on XRP specifically, and yeah, I think that an imminent move is certainly close by with the crypto market. So you know, keep your eyes on those price alerts that I've mentioned before, and I certainly think you have a strong chance. You know, if these price alerts break, you want to see the entire crypto market going up. You want to see Ethereum going up, XRP going up, and you know, Bitcoin obviously to go up before you really want to enter into a trade.
Yeah.
And you know, I don't think it's a bad time to get into long-term investments with Bitcoin. I think it's certainly a great idea. It's always a good idea. I really do like Bitcoin. I think it's the future of you know, trading, and you know, we'll keep that discussion for another time. But
Yes.
but yeah, ultimately that's my analysis, guys. Not really much going on in the market in terms of strength or weakness. Just pay attention to the charts and see what's going on with the charts. But ultimately, just waiting for the news to come out and see how the market reacts to that.
Awesome.
Excellent.
Igor, you want to
So,
take the lead there?
Yes, I can give a few things. First, let me start from the calendar. So yesterday I made a little bit point about the calendar. I will just repeat a few things.
Order
related
filled.
to that is that all these news are something that should not impact the price a lot. The main thing that I think is that the
That did
last
not
month
work.
was very, very tough for U.S. economy, U.S.
Stop filled.
etc., and for the other countries. And what we can see is that all these things that we are getting from these reports from the last month should be bad. So we expect, you know,
All right,
less,
it's open.
a lot of unemployment that we expect, for example, inflation increase. We expect a lot of bad things related to the economy based on all this news. So even today, if we get, for example, a less number of jobs for US dollar, I think that will not impact the price. Maybe a couple minutes, but even that, I think that we could even that for this week, for example, like we said, we have a NFP report, and in NFP report, we expect a little bit bad employment change for US dollar, which expected because last month you see the stocks market, when stocks market just have this huge drop, several percent, sometimes 10, 15% from the beginning of the year, you realize that economy has a problem, and the number of unemployment people will increase. So I just wanted to say about that this, I think this whole month.
All right, I guess it is that line. So we're gonna check how it reacts to this. Since we're looking at this
news are different than usual.
system right
and now,
here.
I can start to talk about my trades, because I think that I had a lot of problems actually with trading, especially today. I think that the best thing was not to trade at all. But let me start from the beginning, and I will tell you what is the main problem for me. So the main problem right now is US dollar. As you can see on the daily chart, we can
What am I
see
doing? Don't do that.
on the relative strength in this trend line that we already touched this trend line. So this is the moment when today close can change overall look on the US dollar. For me, of course, this is not for everybody, but if we see that US dollar currency reach price 100, and that will mean that we will just break this trend line, and there is a high probability that we can see continuation and some kind of correction and some recovery of the US dollar. If that happens, everything will switch. Euro down, British pound will start to go down, maybe XRP there, and we can see a major shift in the trade.
Jumped in way
Of course,
early.
what I'm
Why are we
first
doing that? Why are we
most
doing that?
thing that I'm watching is US dollar Swiss, because if I see this, that US dollar is starting to go up, this
Oh my
will
gosh.
be my top one pair that I will buy and hold maybe up till the February highs. And the reason why I will do that are strategy that calls strong weak currency. As you can see, I will just do this. I will go to the futures, and I will find not US dollars futures. I will find just like this. I will find Swiss franc, and you can see that Swiss franc started to go down, and this can be on a relative strength index point of view. We see that bearish divergence right now. So if we have a weak Swiss and stronger dollar, that means that US dollar Swiss can go really, really high. That push can be very, very strong. And of course, the risk-reward ratio can be very interesting. So this is the, I think for the swing trades, this is the number one, my trade that I'm watching. And I wanted to enter here. I want to see a push here. I just want to see this day, or maybe tomorrow, I want to see clear push. I think the best trigger will be that I have on the US dollar currency this push to the 100, and that will be and psychological level and breakout the relative strength index, and everything will change. Now I'm going to show my problematic trades. The problem with my problematic trades is that I had a problem these days, little bit with trends and with push and that fake breakouts that really kill me. So look this 30-minute chart for British pound dollar. Today,
All right.
I saw the breakout. It was a so clear breakout here, and I was ready.
Looks like I'm figuring
I made that short trade.
stuff
Now
out.
I'm exit because I'm seeing that push higher.
By that,
and,
I mean,
I don't want
I
to
jump into some trades I
keep
probably should
losing
not be
positions too
jumping
much.
into.
I want to sell because, as you can see, I want to see the US dollar start to go up, and then vice versa. I want to see the British pound come down and the US
Trying to
dollar
figure out
down,
what is happening
everything
right
come
now.
down. And this is something that I really, really want to see. I want to see euro dollar and British pound dollar bearish.
I don't
Because in
know.
that
So
case, all my
on
levels,
the day,
all my bias, everything will be clear. If we start to go on opposite side, I will literally have a problem because we have so much levels,
weekly down,
so much resistance.
the 4-hour
the first
down.
problem that I don't like,
it is bouncing off
this. So
resistance,
this is the
or
euro
just
dollar.
off of the
On the euro dollar chart, on the 30-minute
64
time frame, I put two lines. One is the bullish bearish
EMA.
foundation point at 1.4040,
Here.
and other is my
So that makes me want to take
trigger
long trades.
that I'm completely sure that if we break
Are
this
we bouncing right here?
1.16
We're
level
not.
for euro dollar, we are going down. So this bullish or you know choppy price will disappear from
Order
me, and I
filled.
will be
We're gonna go ahead and
completely
give
bearish
that
for euro dollar.
a hit.
So what is the problem? The problem is this. Last week and Monday, we had a strong push down. Monday, Tuesday, I think. That push was so strong because we broke this 1.4040 level, and then we just went really down. After that, the previous
Stop
support
filled.
become the resistance, and now
said
this
no.
level is strong resistance. But look this. From the April 23 up to date, so 6 days. 6 days, we are nowhere for euro dollar. Nowhere. So we are not below this level that I mark 1.1460. We are not above this level. It's some choppy price. I had a couple of trades, and all of them just I killed my account just because of that. Because it's not about position size. I have a small position size, but I see that I need, if I want to sell euro dollar, for example, if I enter right now, I can do that. It's not smart, but I can do that. If I do that, I need to put this stop loss 1.4040 because all these tight stop loss or are not good. The problem here is that several times, so
Order filled.
on 30 minutes time frame, we had some false breakouts. Look, this false breakout here. I was really sure in this moment that we will go down and price
Stop filled.
starting to go down again, and then down again, and now we have some push again, and it's so frustrating because we are nowhere, and I think, like Nandan said, the best is sitting on the hands, just no trading, because we are not clear right now. For British pound dollar, the thing is worse, because here we have so many up down, crazy swings, crazy UK market open, crazy Frankfurt open. I watch everything, and so choppy price, so much time. You know, we went 30 pips, for example, 2 hours. We're falling 30 pips
Order
down,
filled.
and then in 2 minutes we go 30 pips up, touch that resistance, and go
Not
down.
looking good,
after
guys.
that again slow. So just so choppy, so crazy price levels and movements that really can. If you move your stop loss to break even, you just lose your trade. You just lose your trade, because you need to put really large stop loss if you want to trade right now the major forex pairs, because right now everything is so volatile, and even euro-dollar is volatile, which I don't like, but this is it. So one thing that it's important for me is that I'm watching too. Today is April 29. 7 days ago, we have April 22. So we have some kind of the repeating. So during the US session, we had a strong push, and then just at the end of the Tuesday,
oh my gosh. Okay, well, we're done trading.
If we see the same movement today,
we can't be trading that much on these ones. I
perception
don't know why we're doing that.
Because now, after this double top or triple top, or how to call it, we will have a real push downside, just because the US dollar and all other major pairs. So right now it looks, it will break up, and it will be bullish, but I need to wait the end of this day for any kind of trade. I need to be really patient, because right now I feel a little bit frustrating. I see, for example, I just give example today, this level 1.3410. Do believe that today I'm watching British pound dollar from the 6 a.m. on my time, so it's around 9 hours. And 9 hours I watch, and whenever I look to the chart, I see this magical number. Can you believe that? So often oscillates around there, and I can tell there is a big probability that in just few hours everything change, and just this strong bullish trend will switch to the clear bearish movements and clear bearish biases. So it's really tricky, and it's really crazy. So this is the something that I just wanted to point out, just to know how I see the market, and a little bit to show that psychological level that I feel right now for myself, that feelings that I have as a trader, because so many trades I catch myself, even when I wait, enter into trade, make 20 pips in profit, move to break even, and in few seconds lose my trade. And this is really frustrating. And the only thing in this situation is to really put a large stop loss, and not to go to the break even and wait to see what market will do. So this is the current market situation from my side, and
order
I just
filled.
like to see, how do you see the stock market, Richard, from your pointed here.
Yeah, Igor, it's exactly the same in on the indices.
Order
I'll quickly
filled.
share my screen here.
Excellent.
We've had some very choppy conditions to start this week with. Actually, carried over from last week Friday. And this is on across the board: the NASDAQ, the S&P 500, the lot. Crude oil not so much; it's been moving lower. I'll just share my screen there. So we're looking at the NASDAQ, for example. Let me actually start here with a higher time frame in the S&P 500. Now, this is on a daily time frame. You can see
Order
the price
filled.
is actually here within a fair value gap that actually formed after a breakout here on the when was the 2nd of this month, April. And we, just from a technical point of view, we had support, breakout to the downside. Fair value gap was created, so you got these previous support areas that might be acting as resistance.
Order
so
filled.
The price on the smaller time frame has been grinding slowly upwards. One can say almost a bit rangy, so very similar market conditions than we're seeing on a lot of the forex space. The price has been struggling to get there. For me, this is like a really sort of an important zone, should I say, that price would need to get through. Now, if it doesn't, it would be fair to expect that we can get a deeper decline and then maybe break upwards at a later stage. But this far, this could also just be a zigzag ABC formation, i.e. corrective versus this move that we've seen to the downside. So, yeah, also a little bit sitting on my hands from, I also traded larger time.
Order filled.
I'd like to do that with options.
Stop filled.
Which is out of the realm for these sessions that we have here. It is a bit more conducive for like day trading, taking quick little trades. I'll show you a trade that I took yesterday, actually on the S&P 500. But while price is actually stuck in this range, it's gonna be difficult. It's very choppy. I would really like to see a very strong breakout here on the daily with a close above it, not a wick. So you'll have to wait for a day that price actually breaks through it, if it does actually occur. And then I think that would be a really bullish sign that price is, potentially got at least more scope
Order
towards
stop filled.
5,790, which where we had this lower high over here. All right, so this little small range of the 1, 2, 3, and today 5 days in a row, all sort of within that fair value gap, previous support area. Now, if we look at the smaller time frames, I can just get my S&P 500 here. You
Order
can see
filled.
what I mean. Price has been making higher highs, higher lows, but it's been grinding upwards with a lot of whiplash in between. It's extremely difficult to trade. So quickly, this trade that I took yesterday, actually, I was right about the direction initially, but this is on a 5-minute. On a 1-minute time frame, I got caught up quite a few times in this mess over here. So I actually took 3 trades yesterday.
Order
First
filled.
2 just got stopped out, just price and moves in my direction. Stops out second time, price moves in my direction. And then on the third time, I said, okay, well, hang on, let's just zoom out to a 5-minute time frame. There was a beautiful fair value gap on the 5-minute. Normally I use that on the 1-minute time frame, but decided to get in, was around about these highs, and then I had a nice strong decline low. So at least a decline that we've seen made up for the losses, and there was a little bit of profit left at the end of the day. But from the equity side, the indices side of things, also very, very choppy price action. So you'll assume strong decline, strong move back up, V-shaped bottom. It's just the name of the game these days, right? It's really, really, really volatile. Same thing now. We had a strong move lower. Price sort of undershot the overnight session low around 5,507, and we also had a little cluster of lows here yesterday, which was actually a higher low. Now we see a strong bounce here with it. But we also have those JOLTS job opening reports coming out in about 13 minutes time. So there's really no trade on for me here on the S&P 500 and neither on the NASDAQ. Same sort of price action, obviously different market. Price broke below this little zone, which was just taken from today's overnight session low, around 19,345. Got a few clusters of lows here, high lows from yesterday. The price went boom, straight back up again. So we're dealing with the situations we typically get these sell-offs that either happen during the Asian session or you get it during the actual US session
Stop
and then
filled.
recover during vice versa on the Asian session again. So very difficult, no follow through. I would say better to trade this with short term or short targets that's near a buy, so day trading type of strategies, which is exactly what I do. But again, yesterday was very frustrating. I'm glad I took that third trade because if I didn't, I'll be negative on the day, which is also not bad. I mean, you did follow. If you follow your strategy, you will have losing days. But I generally don't like trading or having more than two losses, 3 max. And luckily, the third one pulled off. Right, so that's that on the ES and the NASDAQ and SPX 500. Now, if you look here at the crude oil market, very strong decline, right? Price been moving lower.
Order filled.
So price is now also obviously within my trading window, yeah? But what I'm seeing here is a
Stop
potential
filled.
ending diagonal. So ending diagonals run in 5 waves. Try to maybe think a little bit out of the boxes while I'm doing this. Where price is sort of like declining in a narrow sort of like declining ending diagonals, I call it. So price did take out the overnight
Order
session
filled.
low, moved up, created a lower high again, so it's lower highs, lower highs, lower highs. If we can break this little previous lower low here at 60.45, then get a bounce up, then see on a 1 minute time frame maybe a break of structure as I normally do, and fair value gap, then potentially crude oil could be the trade I would like to take today. Again, we got those JOLTS job openings numbers coming out in 10 minutes time, so I'm not really that interested in taking any trades until after that news event on the SPX 500 or on the NASDAQ. So I'm really watching the S&P 5, WTI crude very closely here. So we can take out, let me just get that level sorted out, 60.44. That might be the end of that ending diagonal. Maybe I'm seeing things again that's not really there, but that's perfectly fine. But if we can take out that low again, then see a reversal upwards with all the other conditions I will look for to fall in place, then I'll be willing to take a trade there. Right, so that's it from our side, really, guys. Got that JOLTS numbers coming out in 10 minutes. Like I mentioned, who knows where the markets are going? We might see another decline here. It's very whippy. So
Yeah.
I share your sentiment on the forex side of things as well. It is very frustrating, but these are periods that always will occur. It's like nothing new, and just got to sit through them.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, the best thing to do sometimes is just stay out of the markets.
Yeah.
Yeah. As hard as it is to do, I have that traditional mindset of the harder you work, the better the results are usually, but in trading it's the exact opposite. Sometimes what you need to do is just do nothing. Well, that's a lot of the times actually. Trading is, I would say, majority of the time just sitting there and watching.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's one thing I never really understood about trading is
Stop filled.
with people I've talked to who are obviously more successful than me at the time, and still are more successful. I mean, they mentioned that trading is very
Why
boring.
is it
And I never
going
understood that.
backwards? You
I
see
always
that?
question, how can trading be boring? You're
Boring, yes.
making money. And it wasn't necessarily that they're saying making money is boring. No, everybody gets that dopamine rush when they make a lot of profit, but it's majority of the time you're just sitting there and doing nothing and waiting, and things,
Yeah.
especially if you're a trend trader, they fail a lot of the times. A lot of your trading plans will fail a lot of the times, but the times they hit, that makes it all worth it. So there's always another trading opportunity right around the corner. You should be excited of these
Order filled.
potentially choppy moments, because
Yeah.
the larger the consolidation, the larger the pop, and the larger the move is, and the more stable
Exactly.
the moves are. So
Exactly.
keep your You know, keep
Here, let's
yourselves
see.
at baseline, keep yourselves in check, don't get into unnecessary drama.
Stop build.
So, you know, I've always struggled with
That
that
added.
personally. You know, I always get too ahead of myself and start to force
Order
feed
filled.
fake information, and I pretty much trick myself into getting into a trade that I originally said
Oh,
it's
yeah.
not a good idea getting into.
That's the real thing.
Absolutely, and
For
you know,
sure.
you
Yeah.
have to see where that stems from. And for me, it's, you know, always trading in desperation, and I realized, man, trading in desperation really sucks. So you can't do it. It's either you toughen up and your emotions get killed so many times that you just eventually give up on trying to do that, or you, I don't know, incorporate something else to fix that problem, fix that
Yeah.
core issue. So, you know, that's a big part of trading as well. You know, you can have a trading system that works, but if you deploy it improperly, you will pay the price again, just as much as you will if a trading system doesn't work. So,
It's like they say, the markets tend to reward those that are patient, right?
absolutely,
Patience
yeah.
really is the virtue in trading, big time.
Yeah, it really is. And keeping yourself at baseline, you know, when I say baseline, I mean you feel normal, you feel at peace. And these times it's very hard to do that, but find things that'll get you to stay calm and collected and thinking with a clear mind, whether that's spending time with family, going out and just taking a walk in the park, you know, do something. Do something
Yeah.
else. Just walk away from the
214
computer. You need to
positive.
be around it. Yeah. Yeah, because
You're
believe
not a
me, you can
gamer.
sit.
That's what I always tell people. It's like, you know,
Yeah.
some gamers will be sitting there the whole day, midnight to work. At least there's action, you know. Don't treat it the same. Trading is not the same. You should definitely not be watching your charts all day long. That's why I like, with my strategy, I focus for 2 hours and that's it. You know, get a setup, why don't, and then walk away, you know.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
I also have a life apart from trading, so
Yeah, you know, it's as traders, you know, sometimes we're so I would say introverted, a lot of us. Of me personally, I'm a very big introvert, so just sitting inside, it's very easy to get cooped up and just get tunnel vision into trading. But yeah, eventually you get
absolutely.
killed so many
But I
times.
must say, like, these sessions are quite nice for me because I get to meet other traders, you know.
Yes.
But that being said, I sit in the office on my own the whole day. But I actually prefer it that way from concentration point of view. But you know, these sessions that we do have here, and also to our viewers, ask questions, guys. It's like, I didn't have this when I started trading at all.
Yeah.
You know, I had to go seek mentors to try to, you know, better my craft, if you can say that. And it costs lots of money. So while you have the chance to do this, fire away, guys. There will be days that things are quiet. We can't force trades on our side. And as you probably see from our coaches, we won't force trades either. You know, yesterday it just happened that I took 3 trades, but I had 3 setups, you know, so went for 3 times and so it happens. But there are days that, you know, none of us will trade. So use that opportunity to ask questions, you know, that's also why we're here, to help you guys out.
Yeah.
Yes.
But gents, things are not quiet here. I don't know. We got 4 minutes until those job reports come out.
Well,
do you guys have anything else to show us?
We shall break.
Yes. I can show, for example, just the plan of this news. What can change here?
Okay.
So maybe because we have 2 minutes, maybe I can open a calendar just to watch together, to watch the news and maybe to see what will happen. So the good things, because right now I want to sell euro dollar and British pound dollar. So what I want to see is to see the week results for dollar, which market rejects, and then I'm 100% sure that the institutional traders there on the side to sell euro dollar, British pound dollar, and against the US dollar. So this be very very interesting if that happens. So I just want to see what will happen. Just write the news, and we have 1 minute, I think. So I would like to see.
Wow, we're just having a rough day today.
Bad results for the US dollar, and then to see the
Let's
downside.
be smart about this
for
now.
the British pound dollar especially. So
How much did we
I
go
would see
along with our strategy?
like that? But for me, in the last several years, I realized that news rejection for me usually is better impact or better movement for
It's a
the
really
price
big question.
than when I get when I get the news that are
Dude,
going
move
in
out of
my
the way.
favor, and usually nothing, just a crazy catalyst in one or another side, choppy price, and then we're on the same level that we were. So I hope that right now we can see anything. Just I want to see that big dogs and big institutional traders to reveal a little bit what they're doing right now. So I just want to see that because I have feeling that this Tuesday can be similar to the last Tuesday, but we will see. We will see what will happen.
Yeah, we've got about a minute left till that comes out. Again, guys, to our viewers, this might be a non-event, but it's just, just be wary of that, right?
So we are pending. We will see very, very soon results. So the bad news for the CB consumer confidence, and I would like to see bad results for jobs openings, just to see what happened here. Yes, it's exactly what I wanted to see. So right now I can go and I can share just to see the screen what's happened right now with the price of the British pound dollar and euro dollar. I would just like to see something. For the first 2 minutes, that can be anything here. This is nothing right now. I want to see what will happen in next 15 minutes. Actually, this will be the best thing. For example, if I see here a bearish engulfing pattern or something like that, some bearishing strong candle rejection of this resistance here, it's an excellent trigger for selling British pound dollar. Of course, with a lower risk because we are against the major trend. We are still bullish for British pound dollar. Even we are not below this
Order filled.
1.336. So of course, but I think that this is the most important part of the US session, right? This news right now. So right now it's nothing. This is really nothing. We just go a little bit to the 1 minute chart. Yes, it's one candle here, but we will see.
Stop filled.
We will see what will happen here. We have that big level 1.3440, which was the ultimate high for this year and the ultimate high for the last 24 hours. So I'm just watching to see what can be here, but nothing special. A little bit push higher. At the same time, I will just look the US dollar to see what's happened here.
What's up with that delay?
Yeah, this is interesting. This is interesting because maybe we can see the push here first. First the push the US dollar, and then price reverse down to the British pound dollar. Yes, it looks like this. Everything is correlated, as you can see. So we will see here.
Yeah,
but this is
the first 15 minutes. It's always tough to see what's going on. It's just spiking everywhere.
Yes, but it looks nice. It looks pretty. I think that this pattern I realized I saw a lot of times in the past, for example. So, for example, this is interesting today. So we were on the 1.3440 for the British pound
Well,
dollar.
well. Let's see what
And
happens,
you can
folks.
see that I can say this is the from the UK Open till now, last 10 hours.
Order
We
filled.
never start to approach that high. So the biggest push was 1.3425, and we're still below that level, which is good. Because market structure right now. But we need to wait a little bit to see what will happen here. Of course, I monitor all these major currency pairs. I watch US dollar, Japanese yen, for example, and it's a really in the channel and nothing happens here. So
If this one fails, this is the last one
the
today.
problem here, even the US dollar start to go up.
If this one fails, we will
buy US dollar, Japanese yen.
figure out what we're gonna do.
Because the yen in US dollar is something that equal in the right now in the strength. I think that
Order filled.
map London show
Just
very
more of
similar
those.
things.
Yeah.
So there's no strong weak currency, so you can manage that and use that. So
Yeah,
US dollar,
absolutely.
Japanese yen is out. US dollar, Japanese yen is out, just to see what's happened with Aussie dollar. Yes, nothing special here. This is even the worst. We see the Aussie dollar starting to go down. This is quite interesting right now. And
Yeah.
the goods, yes, it's going down right now. So I need just to closer to watch euro dollar and British pound dollar. As you can see, we had rejection right now to the resistance, and what's happened with the British pound dollar, we're still there, but there's no push higher. So I think in next 10 minutes, if we see this bearish candle, that can be one good additional trigger for try.
Oh,
for
keep
one
on
sell
going,
order.
baby.
That would be interesting, of course.
Keep it going.
But I see that there's no push. Like I said, look, euro dollar, we are around 1.14 level, but 1.1440, which is the important price level, is still far away. And we are really
that.
I think we're closer to 1.1416 than 1.4040. So this is the very, very interesting. Like now, we are very, very close to see the bearish 50-minute candle. So euro dollar is bearish. British pound dollar is starting to be bearish. And as you can see, I think that we can get a very interesting order right now. But I need to wait 9 minutes because I want to see what's happened with the market.
Stop filled.
Yeah, I've had my pound Aussie and pound New
All
Zealand
right.
price alerts breach, but the news is just released, so I like to wait at least 5 to 15 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes to
That's
see
it.
some sort of consolidation.
We're back into
on the
profit.
time
That was a
frames
little
and then maybe a
crazy.
continuation. But
A little bit.
that
So
aside,
we're in profit,
even if the price alerts
252
breach, I'm still not seeing enough consistency
today.
on the currencies. It seems more like a fake out.
One
It could be
account.
wrong,
I
but,
think we're good there.
I'd like to see all the pound pairs.
Oh, it's
going
kinda
up,
rough.
All the Aussie dollar pairs going up. Right now, it seems like the Aussie dollar is the one kind of
yeah,
driving
that's pretty
the
rough.
movement for some weakness, but it's not really being supported by the pound. The pound Aussie price alert that I had. Same thing with the pound New Zealand. That price alert also just breached, but the New Zealand dollar pairs aren't really showing too much.
So
They are showing a little bit of consistency, but again, the pound.
Interestingly,
is really helping,
we
because
did pull
the
this
consistency
number.
on the
Well, no,
Aussie
that's
and
about
the
the
New
same.
Zealand dollar for weakness isn't that strong, isn't that as consistent I'd like it to be. The cross currency, which is the pound,
We would like to
needs
make
to also have some push
X
to
amount
it
of money today.
move that
Usually
pair up.
300
to
on
move
this
those
one
pairs up,
account
which
here
we
on
don't
this
have,
right
so
side.
I'm comfortable
This side
just sitting
here.
on my hands again, but it's too early to tell.
As you can see, we
15 minutes hasn't
drew
even
almost
passed by
down. We drew
since
past
the
our
news, so
like
could just be consolidating and whatnot. We'll see.
stop trading, and
see
then
how
we
things
got to the
develop over
point where it's
next few
hard
minutes or
stop.
so.
Yeah. Now we're looking
I
at the
think we
indices
bled
to
past
show
it in
that,
fourth
Igor, are you
during
gonna
some
get
of the
into a trade
trades.
day, or you?
As far as like what
Yes,
was
I
open.
plan to enter into the
P&L.
trade, and I will do that, but I will wait.
But we were
5
able to get
minutes.
back,
Yeah, yeah.
and I think
we
that's
have
it.
a
Like, it was a struggle just to get to that point. I do think, however, after
So,
in
Shane,
between
I'll-
7 and 7:30 is when
Yes,
we
yes, please.
do our best.
Just,
I'll be quick,
stop
and you can take
sharing
over there again.
Market kind of has figured out what it's semi
Right,
doing.
so we got a very
that
strong
point,
push up.
We could probably
on
take
the
this
NASDAQ
short right here down to right here. Let's see what would
as
happen.
well as the S&P 500. Heading back
And,
to this
that would just
area
be a
here
quick
on the
scalp.
1 hour where price has been, stuck for quite some time. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens by the end of today. Can we close
I think it's a very
above
good
that zone
likelihood
very
that
strongly,
that
or
happens.
and find resistance again?
But
and see a
as you can
decline?
see, it decides it said no thank you.
So from a setup perspective, let's assume
Now
there
would be
was
a
no
great
news.
time to enter right now. Now, is that one?
Yeah, just
contract?
not a setup. For
Order
us
filled.
on either the S&P 500
But we're gonna
or
just
the
go for
NASDAQ.
here.
So
Small
didn't want to
little-
trade into that news event. The only
little-
thing I can really
little taste.
turn my attention to
taste
now
test.
is still
Test
the
these
crude oil
tasties.
market, WTI. So price has been following this sort of expectation that we might be dealing here with an ending diagonal.
Potential a little bit. No.
And price has just formed a double bottom with its previous low at 60.44. So ideally, I would like to see it just put below there, move back up, and see if there's a price structure point on the 1 minute or a break of structure point. Let's get
Gonna give
taken
me
out.
that little bit.
Fair value gap, all those goodies, and then see if I can get into a trade. So I might also get a trade opportunity pretty soon, but before I
hoping-
go on too long, I'll pass it back to
Hoping
you.
it drops right below this so I can
Okay.
pop this in here. There we go.
Stop filled.
Go,
Boom.
you sharing a screen there?
We had to grab a little bit more, right?
Okay. I will
See,
share
see
the
if I
screen.
should have had the cojones of diamonds. Oh, look at that! It is.
This is
It is. Oh,
this is
oh,
the-
where
the
do we have?
trade
I think we had it right
plans.
here. I think that would have took. Let's
I
say
already made.
that would have to
so
hard hit
that was
this.
fast.
Because who knows if that actually would have took
what
right
trade
there.
I made?
Oh.
So for the example,
Oh, that
I
would've been it.
put the sell order here right now. This
So
price
I
level.
mean,
my stop loss is a one
I guess
point.
the quick scalps are there.
1.3440.
Yes.
And my target will be the first target.
Yes.
Will be this level, believe or not, from today low. But I will take maybe a very low portion here.
I guess.
Because I
But we're
think
kind of
that
pretty much done right
we
now.
have a lot of multiple targets here that can be achieved. Maybe this trade I will create as a swing trade. Why? Because as you can see here, we have the first very important target below 1.336. Then we have a 1.3240. So these are the targets that's very interesting here. Of course, right now I have open targets. I will not make any target right now. I will watch trades, and I hope that we will see push lower. Of course, I want to see an hourly candle, how this hour will close, for example. I think that we will be bearish, but right now I see that the market structure that is going to be a little bit bearish, more than bullish. And I'm seeing that US dollar little bit strengthened right now. We are positive for today, 0.18% for US dollar currency. So right now we are on the good track. However, everything can switch in 1 hour, 2 hours, everything can be different. But I think that this is of course the attempt to have a very good risk-reward ratio. Sometimes the good trades are the very tough trades, you know. For example, people usually like to find some clear risk, everything, all triggers to be on your side, and overall trend, and you know, and this and every single trigger and volume and everything. But first, that trades are very rare, and even if that happens, very often can be, you know, very bad trade. So there's no rules for that. However, I know that sometimes if you catch trend like this, you see here on the chart, I'll just show 15 minutes. This is the bearish, like a bearish resistance right now. And you see how price are pushing lower. Even that we believe it can be higher because the overall trend is bullish. I see that there is no momentum right now. Even after this news, we don't have that kind of momentum. And this is something that
So here's a
that's
question.
strange for me.
Do you have a funded
I
account?
see more bearish bias than bullish
I'm not
bias.
doing really
Even
good on-
everything is clear. Of course, like I said, if we break this 1.336, I'm
But I
100%
could trade it.
sure that we are going down more and more. But you know, if I
Should be
enter
focused
at
on those.
336,
Actually, more than these.
it's not about to miss.
I'm wondering if I should do
It's
those on
problem
night
with the stop
ones.
loss. Now my stop loss should be, 80 pips far away. And
Kind
and
of
to
the
be very
question that I
tricky.
have here.
Right now, I can put a really clear stop loss because
know
I
if
have
I'm-
a clear price level here, and wait to see what will happen. So right now, British pound dollar 50 minutes, we didn't break this resistance, but we are slightly bullish candle. On the euro dollar, however, we have a bearish candle, bearish candle. So it's quite interesting right now. But I think that euro dollar and British pound dollar are together, and I see, for example, how US dollar index increased a little bit. Right
I mean, that
now,
won't be
we're
today because we
0.2%.
do have.
We increased little bit by little bit, and I would like to
We
see
do.
if we can to reach 100 at the end of the day, which can really shift the whole market and
Have
whole structure and everything in
A 3D
total
printer
different
on the way today.
change everything different.
Be pretty exciting. I don't know how we're gonna have to clean this whole thing up.
So
to be able to
I
do
know
this
that
review.
someone can tell that I'm a little bit rushed right now,
Okay.
but I think that I need to do this because of the good risk reward ratio. Only that. Only
100%.
that. And the mistakes that I made today was that I moved my stop loss to break even again. And I said myself, do not do that, and I again do that. And right now I'm waiting. I want to hit the stop loss, no problem. Just I will never, this day I will never change my stop loss. This is my stop loss. I'm waiting.
Never say never.
Do what you want today. I say today. So today, this is my stop loss, 1.344. I do not touch anything. I'm waiting, and if I touch stop loss, no problem. Okay, we're touch resistance. Okay, it's good. But this is the way how I trade, and this is it. So while we're waiting, if you don't mind, I
on
can
the
show
day
you one
that
indicator.
doesn't look good. What
that
about
they
the
started
week?
to
The
use
week does
sometimes.
not look good as well. This is JPY.
I do that
Let's go
already
back to
myself,
the day
but,
real quick.
It's
What do we think is
interesting
going to
because it's free.
happen? Let's take.
It's
I mean, there's a possibility that we do
it's
not
smart
have
money
a red
concept.
day.
Of course, I don't believe in ICT.
Let's kind of take a look at how the
SNC
4
and
hour
other,
looks, if possible.
all these the new strategies that just pumping in the market. But it's not about the name. It's not about the strategy. It's just a good indicator for few things. Again. So
On the
we'll see
4 hour,
very
it
soon
does
on the
look
chart.
possible that
So
we
this is
are
very
going to
good,
move up at
because,
least the next
the levels that you can see
few
using
hours.
this
It does look like
indicator,
it's
are very similar to
testing
levels
here.
that I
So
already
let's
used. So
get down to the 2 hour.
the good thing
There
here
is
let me just show you,
gaining sell
for example, this level
volume.
here.
Well, I don't know if you can call it sell volume, but volume that's more on the sell side.
Like this.
You can see here a rise, and then there was like
It would
a
be maybe
huge
better.
push up,
So
and
this
then
indicator
and
has
then
two
not
great
enough.
things.
So I think if we were
going
gonna
to
take a short-term trade,
structure, which is very good because sometimes
it's quite
when you break
possible
some
that we can take a
resistance,
short term.
you can say or support. You can say, okay, from now I'm bullish. From now
There
I'm
is the
bearish.
wicks.
Very often, this
that kind of
indicator
support
has
it.
the same levels that I have
Double
when I
hammer.
analyze the trades, and I
And
like it.
Cam.
And another thing is BOC, which for me is meaning.
I think on the funded account though, I want something solid, especially since we're pretty far back.
So these two things are very good, especially for beginner traders to analyze the chart and to use in the regular trading. For example, here
we're decently far back.
You can see this level here. It's a level 1.255.
Let's take a look at the 15.
It was the level
trying to
which
see
I
what
already was bullish for the British pound.
This is
on
a
the
huge
term,
amount
and it was the
buy-side volume.
signal
You can
of
see the volume
change of
started
market
increasing,
so
but nothing was really
after
happening there.
These movements here, after these two candles, we really was above that resistance. We really were bullish and below that bearish. Very good for that. It's really very, very good for that. And this trend continuation things and everything, it's very good sometimes to just give you a bias. Of course, this is not holy grail. This is just an indicator that sometimes can just do.
I'm probably gonna go for a buy side.
You know, to draw some lines. It can draw some lines for you, and it's a free. It's a free, and it's a good. There are a lot of indicators here on the trading view that you can use just to find, you know, retest support, retest resistance, because sometimes we have so many assets and British dollar, euro dollar, and Aussie dollar, Kiwi dollar, so many, and sometimes I miss, you know, retest zones or miss some important price level, and this indicator sometimes can show me. I usually know everything from here from the chart, but just give me sometimes some kind of the bias, and
might be a bad trade, to be honest.
So look this
I
line.
don't know what it
here,
is. As soon as I hit a funded account,
so
like,
what this means is, in the
if
moment
I'm not mistaken, we already killed
we went
our
2 days more low,
AquaFunded
and
account.
after that we make a strong push, and from the end of the January till now we're in the bullish market structure for British pound dollar. But this resistance, this line is so good because you can spot, you can see. Oh look, we had identical level here.
We're halfway
on April 2022, and now we reach it here. And this is something that I miss, because sometimes resistance that I have right now on a daily chart, it was very strong resistance 2 years ago, or it was very strong support 2 years ago, and I don't see that because I watch daily 4 hours.
I think we lost track of right now
I miss some numbers,
what the
some
overall
line.
trend is.
And it's good when you can find some indicator just to see maybe additional line, just to put a note. Oh, watch this level. It's
I feel like we really need to see
for the future or something like that. So I just wanted to share you maybe if some beginner trader watch right now to try
what the overall
and
picture
just
is.
tell,
Igor.
okay, right now we have a bearish candle. Yes.
Really quickly, I just actually entered
Yes,
into a
please.
trade on the pound Aussie. If I can show that.
Please
So-
share, my friend. Please share.
All right. So with
You
this
guys are
trade, I'm
busy
sorry if
today.
I'm a little sorry if I'm a little focused, just because the trend indicators or the
This
consistency
does
in the
not
market
look like a
isn't
good
fully
trade.
there. So I'm going in with a
Go
more
back to
scaled
the
back
hour.
position, but I'm monitoring it.
Like, look at
with
this.
the hawk right now. But let me see if I can share my screen really quickly. I might get out of this trade in a few minutes. It just depends. I'm
I
hoping
feel
this
like we
trade
would
just shoots
create
up.
the lower lows first.
Hopefully you can see my screen right now.
Wow.
We're
Okay.
gonna come up here.
Yeah,
we'll
so
probably come
This
up
is the
here
pound
and
Aussie.
then
The
drop
price alert
down.
we had earlier was to break out of this little area.
I mean, it's,
at
it'll hit my stop loss
2.096.
before.
Broken out of it right now. I'm on the 15-minute chart, and you know I got in on a continuation of these trend indicators. You know, the 5-minute time frame is moving up, so I bought it. But one thing I don't want to happen is this pair to reverse. So I have a mental stop about 25 pips from, or about 15 pips from my entry. And what I want to happen here is for this pair to just keep moving up. I have another price alert set at 2.1029, and if it reaches that price alert, I move my stop loss to break even, and then I'm done for the day. I'm done with this trade. That's essentially the point I want to get to. Now it's just a matter of waiting. So another risk parameter I have set in place is I have a 30-minute rule, 30-minute to 1 hour rule, which is when I enter a trade, it must go into positive pips within 30 minutes to an hour. If it starts to hit my mental stop loss area within that 30-minute period, even if it's within the first 10 seconds, I'm out. But there's a difference between being in plus 10 pips for 30 minutes than being, minus 15 pips in the first 10 seconds. You can stay in trade as long as you're in positive, just make sure it's going up. It is going up right now, and I'm hoping it's going to keep continuously going up, but the moment it starts to reverse, any type of reversal on this 1 minute chart, I'm not really interested in being in it anymore. At that point, the market got the best of me. If it pulls back and it makes another potential, pull back and a reversal back into its intraday momentum, then I might be interested in that. But 2 chances at max most. If nothing happens within those 2 chances, I take my losses for the day and move on. But right
It's a
now,
very strong push.
yeah, right. That this is I was comfortable entering with this trade since it's after a news driver. It's after a news catalyst. So there is support and there is liquidity. There's volatility from the news being implemented into here, and we have some consistency from the Aussie dollar. It's not fully there, so I'm a
Where
little
was
bit
your
nervous
target
about
on
this.
that again, Nanda?
For the take profit,
Yeah.
it's pretty much at these all-time highs. So I'm looking for a trend, a
Okay.
full-out trend breakout. Yeah, 2.159. So hopefully we'll see if it reaches there. But right now,
Nice.
I'm more concerned of within these next 30 minutes to an hour, is this pair gonna move up to my price alert here so I can get my stop to break even and take a breather? Right now it's a little bit more. I get nervous in these times, because as long as my stop is not in at break even, there's always risk on the table. I like to have
Oh
my
yeah, for
stop to
sure.
break even and get my money out and start playing with the house's money. That's the best case scenario. So I
Absolutely.
wish, since this is a pound pair, it makes me even more nervous because it's a very fast moving pair.
Yes.
I ultimately, with momentum trades, you get into profit immediately and they push very hard. It's not pushing that hard, and that's because the signals just aren't super consistent. Now, we could see a big push any moment now, which is what I'm hoping for, but the exact opposite can happen. We can see a strong rejection and a
Yeah.
full-on reversal happening. So that's why I'm kind of watching this pair like a hawk. My eyes are glued to this screen, and ultimately, yeah, I mean, I'll update you guys on how this trade progresses. But I'll let you know if I exit this trade. But currently,
Sure thing.
that's currently what I'm doing.
Very nice. Well, hopefully it works out.
Yeah.
Right. I'm going to share mine quick again, if you guys don't mind.
Excellent, excellent.
Actually, I don't wait to see. I'm not
Well,
gonna wait
then,
to see.
there
We're
we
gonna
go.
just jump that
Right,
in.
so clearly saw, well, had that strong
We're gonna
push
move
here
this
on
above
NASDAQ.
that.
I find these days, like, if you don't trade or have targets set without a massive expectation
Hoping
here
is
on the NASDAQ,
to see a little
especially
bit of
oil
a
price
bounce first.
and the S&P 500, while stuck in this sort of like slowly
I
upwards
could be
grinding
wrong.
range, then you really open yourself to these very sharp declines again. Well, push-ups or whatever direction you're trading in. So yeah, again, I didn't take that trade just because of the jolts opening.
What I'm really
report,
hoping for is the lower low
but here on the WTI crude, finally
with
we're
the
getting a
higher
break
high
of it
here.
low, yeah. Again, I'm still,
And I'm
let's say,
really
maybe
hoping that we
rather than
break.
saying it is, that this is
I think
some
we will
sort
break
of
this low, but I'm really
trending
hoping that
down.
it takes this.
If it is, we'll need to start seeing buyers get in here very, very soon without price moving too far to the downside.
That's the trade. We're actually gonna leave
Right,
those in.
So this is on the 500
And
time
just-
frame. We've got about
I have
3 minutes
the
left
same
on the
trade
candle.
going on
So
in my other funded account.
we really need to see buyers getting into this. Otherwise, this is not an ending diagonal at all. This is something else.
We're down on that
And
one like
leading
100
diagonal into the next very strong decline.
something dollars.
So that's really the only
We're
trade
hoping for a
I'm
1 to 5 win
interested
on that
in.
one, 1 to 4
But
on
it
this
can
because
also
we're
be
just hoping to
invalidated
see.
very quickly.
what we're doing there.
So if we don't see any strength coming here soon, then things off the table. And yeah, it'll be in a whole 2 hours of just watching the markets. But that's how things operate sometimes. But you look here, the 1 minute, bam, straight down. There's even some gaps to the downside. So very, very strong bearish action here. With this current 1 minute that just opened, we need to start immediately seeing bullish.
What you want to do when you're printing a part like this is not actually print it flat or vertical. You want to print it diagonally. Now, this is not very easy to do because now the center of mass is over, not the center of the touch point on the print bed. So you have to have support back here. But you don't want to have that be auto-generated support because it ends up creating a lot more material and not always being very reliable. So you have to use design support. You create effectively a fin off the part. You design this fin to be about a half a millimeter to 1 millimeter spaced parallel to the back of the part that you're trying to print. Make sure that the back edge of the flange is also flattened a little bit so that you have a part of a part against the bed. Then you take sprues and design them to run and merge into the part. You now have this nice little set of ribs that run up here along this fin, which when it's done, all you have to do is break it off, and it's a very clean way of producing supports. It's also very, very reliable. What you want to do when you're printing a part like this is not actually...
As you can see, the entire press can be 3D printed on a single base.
Are we going to close above there? We're going to start seeing a decline. You know, I'm pretty much thinking waiting until after Friday to see if we can see any direction. It might be a scratch week for me. Yes, I'll be taking trades on the smaller time frames. Generally there's enough movement there, but not expecting massive moves until you know the markets find direction. We have a very strong resistance level here on the SPX 500, so for the years if you trade the futures. So it's really a matter of, can we break that zone, or are we going to start seeing a decline? So again, in my mind, this could all just still be a corrective phase. Yes. If we get a really strong breakout out here, we clear the 5,790-ish, 5,800-ish level, maybe at this lower high. Once we clear that, I think, you know, probably heading back to new all-time high. But I was saying, like a few weeks ago when I shared that little roadmap that guy used for his neo wave analysis, which is a form of Elliott wave analysis, that this is all just going to be very, very volatile, potentially until like the October time frame, maybe even longer. So you might get a lot of people interested here. Things are going to go up, and then you know, boom, it goes down again. So a very volatile time frame, or it's not time frame, but times that we had. But who knows? You know, I'm almost thinking the same thing on Bitcoin, although I don't show this those charts during these sessions. But I'm also thinking that push up potentially to stall at some stage.
Hey everyone, a few weeks ago I showed you how we could use
Get a
3D
bit of a
printing to make our
sell-off
own
going
mold
again,
boxes that we could then pour silicone into. Then we could use those
moving.
silicone molds for things like
I don't think
melting
it's
down
100%
3D prints to
started
create
yet,
some
but, who knows?
crazy
I might be
cool
wrong.
looking casts. Or you could just use those to actually
just
run off
following
and cast things with
pure,
resin. However, what
simple
we're going to be doing
market
today is
technical
looking at how we can make
analysis,
3D printable squishy
Clearly
toys
see
by
the
using
SP500
3D printable
here.
mold boxes
the
again,
support
but
area,
directly pouring
fair
silicone
value gap.
in the mold boxes to
It
create
depends on how
these
price
squishy
is
toys.
gonna
And
react
thankfully,
to
Inspire
that
3D over on
right
their
now,
Patreon has created 4 different mold boxes that you can run off in 3D print and just pour
and guys, I just got
silicone
my
or
stop to break even
options
on
for
that
flexible
trade.
materials directly
And I've
into
actually
these
entered
mold
into
boxes after printing.
Yeah,
So I went
I've
off and
actually
3D
entered
printed
into
these
another position
on my
on
Elegoo
Euro
Neptune
Aussie.
3 Pro, and they were printed with this red filament. Then I'm going to just use some
yeah.
rubber band. The material to actually mix together is one, and we're going to be using a Mario.
Okay, hopefully you guys can see
Elegoo,
Sorry.
for sponsoring today's video.
I'm over
they
here.
are the
I'm
makers
lost.
of the Elegoo Neptune
I'm lost in
Pro that have
price
been all of
on
our
my entry
molders.
or my
glue
price
mix
on the
as to
pound
how
Aussie.
this turned out.
Right here, this is my break-even point.
If I look
so
really
set my
closely
stop
on the
break
back
even.
as well,
Pound
I can
Aussie
actually
trade,
see
I'm
some
pretty
of
much
the
playing on the
layer
house right
line
now.
build up there. Even
Euro
though I use
Aussie,
the
again, I'm
ironing
playing
setting
with
and a
Aussie
0.12
dollar
layer
weakness.
height,
That's
you can
the
still
one
see
that's
that
driving
slight
this movement. So
3
my entry
printed
point was
imprint
right here,
there well. I can
1.788.
actually see
It
some
is
of
reversing
the
right now.
layer
If it hits
line
my mental
build
stop,
up there.
I'm
Even
out.
though I use the
And potentially going to take
ironing
some profit
setting
to
and a
offset the losses
0.12
that I
layer
took on
height,
the
you can
Euro
still see
Aussie.
that
But
slight
I'm kind of
3 printed imprint there. There is a little bit of flashing here that I'm gonna have to clean up with a utility knife or something
Don't like this 1 minute on this Euro Aussie, but
overall this
we'll
just
continue to
looks
monitor it.
incredible. And pretty
And same
squishy
with the pound
as
Aussie.
well.
But for now, pound
It
Aussie's
still
at
kind of
break
feels
even.
a
Euro Aussie is the
little
only trade I have risk
tacky.
in.
Maybe there's just a little bit
And
of residue here that I'll
hopefully
dry up.
we'll see.
Interesting. Maybe we'll test it out.
Make this easier for you guys to
We'll
see.
test.
Hopefully we'll see that.
What should we?
they
Put,
continue
what
higher.
squishy should we print?
Yeah, and
Cool.
look, you know, when I'm talking about consistency, you see how every
All
single
right, our trade is
15-minute chart kind of
looking
looks the same.
actually
They're starting to push
pretty
down.
good.
The trend indicators have
Yeah.
kind of pushed down. They're moving in the direction of Aussie dollar weakness. So that's kind of what I want to see, and I'd like to see it on every single pair. You know, it's kind of hard to see it for you guys, but every single pair is
You look
kind
at
of doing
the-
that. The
let's
only pair
go
that's
down to
not
the
doing that
15
is the
first.
Aussie New Zealand. And why? Because the New Zealand dollar is also a little bit weak. So when you have weak against weak, you get a bit of a choppier movement and a more of a sideways movement. So Aussie dollar is the more dominant
So
one in terms
we're
of weakness,
in.
and hopefully it continues to weaken. But you know, we're starting to see
We're in right
some
here
sort of
on the
pullback
other
right
one.
now. But you know, I've done my job.
Yeah.
The only thing to do is wait. So that's pretty much it.
Oh, part of me really wants to put stop loss into profit.
Yeah, guys, what? We got 10 minutes left.
Very likely it's going to hit.
I really don't have anything happening on my side. Do you have anything else to talk about, Igor? How's your trade going there?
I will share with you the screen. It looks pretty. It looks really
nice.
pretty because
Igor likes
it's,
it? I like
as you can see, yes. Now we have the second bearish candle here. We have a bearish bias on the relative strength index on the 30-minute chart is
All right, let's see what
showing
JPY is looking
bearishness
like.
here.
on-
We today already breaks resistance. Now we are approaching again here the relative strength index.
think
on
we
the
leave it in,
30-minute
guys.
chart
We're
is
gonna leave
below
this in.
50. It's around.
This
as
could
you
bite
see,
me,
around 47,
but
which is great because
I think
there is
we
a good
really
risk-reward
want to
ratio. On the
see
other side, we see that it's
what
weak.
we're looking for
On
here.
the other side, we can see that the euro dollar is weakening right now too. And the good thing, if we just watch euro dollar and British pound dollar based from the open, the both of them,
I am
both
honestly
currency pairs
really
are
looking
negative.
for
Even it's a
drop
0.2%
here.
to 0.1%, but the
Down into
whole
here.
day, euro and British
What
pound
would that
dollar
even look
are
like?
negative. So it's very, very important that we don't try to push higher to
That would
see,
only give
to
me
see
$14.
the Asia high
I don't think
or
it's worth
something
it.
like that. We're whole day, we are either on support or in the middle. And I'm glad that I enter in the middle just because of the good risk-reward ratio. So it's really look beautiful. And like I said, I want first to see this 1.336, which is almost 45 pips, and then I think everything will open and we can really make.
Oh, that is not on the
100 pips
funded
with this
account. That
trade.
is on my
And I will just keep it to see what will happen. So this is the
challenge
this is the
account.
way- This is the way that I trade right now. And
Or
what
the
I want
challenge
to see
account
if
is looking good.
somehow we just go down, for example, and maybe we break
There's our
336.
funded.
I will
There's
maybe
our funded.
potentially wait for some additional trade if I see, some small correction upside, and then I can sell again. So I saw that a lot of times. For example, one of the beautiful scenarios that can happen is today that we accelerate bearish move, and we go
Oh,
below
well.
336, like
We'll
7
let
days
it do its
ago.
thing.
And
And
then
I think we're
I
off
would
to
like
work
to
now.
see during the
You guys
8th
have an awesome, amazing
session,
time.
go again to 336, and
I
here
do want
you
to
make
check to
another
see.
sell.
Oh, so that did go
And that will be
back
really
up.
beautiful. And
Looks like
in
it's
that
going back
case,
up.
I can put my stop loss just between this entry point and 336, somewhere here, and to be really break even in that case. So that will be really, really beautiful if it happens. Just you know, the human imagination, there's no limits. But it's a good when you just dream about something and create some scenarios and want to see something. It's a good when you have that in your head.
Still don't like it. I still think we have a downside. That's why I don't really want to.
Sometimes
I mean,
very important.
pretty much what these
Yeah.
two targets were just to catch
But
the
yeah,
outside
guys,
push.
I just
maybe
got stopped
to
out
the,
of the pound Aussie. Unfortunately, the momentum has kind
high
of
of
come out of those
yesterday.
Aussie dollar trades.
Actually, that was the high of
So
Friday right here.
yeah, you know, those trades didn't go as
I was
planned.
hoping for the high of
Share my
yesterday.
screen to you guys,
Yes,
if I
please.
may.
I don't know that we get it,
But it was a very quick and fast
but
exit,
we're gonna keep our
entry and
profits
exit.
for the day.
You know what happened was I got into the pound
We
Aussie right
almost
here,
got to a
moved
point
up about
where
26 pips, got my stop to break even, and moved
we
back down and stopped me out.
we're gonna,
Now
you
with the
know,
Euro
hit
Aussie,
max.
I got in
Well, at least on the one.
right about here, 1.78829. Moved about 2 pips, and then it started to pull back pretty heavily. I got out with a 15 pip loss. So overall, on this day, it's a
So I
very
think we're
tiny
okay.
loss. It's not anything. And what I'm looking for right now,
In my
since
mind.
I've exited these guys, I'm not. I'm
Not
sorry, let me delete this price alert. What I'm looking for right
extremely
now is a
happy,
reversal
but we
back
did
to the upside. You know,
not
potential
lose
5-minute,
anything here, and we did gain some
what
of
I'd like
our.
to see is a pullback happen on the 5-minute chart, and then potentially a reverse back up. So the trend indicators
Stuff
pinch
back.
off, and then they start to point back upwards. But you know, it's also nearing the end of the main session. It's 7:45
I think at
time
this
right now,
point,
so that's actually
we were
pretty much
talking
we're
about.
done
We
with the
have
main
two
trading
others
session.
that
So
we
I
pay
think
for here.
it's better to save my money for today.
But I think we're gonna
judging
go
by the
ahead and
time.
only keep these
And
two
I
at this
think, you know,
point.
if these pairs continue up, that's fine. I'll have
It
another
saves a
entry,
little bit of money.
chance to enter into it again tomorrow. But
And
you know, I missed it. The market got the best of me today.
do you have these
But
other
you
ones
know,
cheaper
we managed risk. Yeah, you know, we managed risk. That's the most important part.
than
You have
before?
your trading system in place. You
I think
execute
we
your trade
stick
entries
with
based
that.
on your rules. Didn't go
So
to plan.
we're gonna go ahead and
that's all right.
keep
You know, as long as
7
you
and
manage risk, which we
14.
did, very tiny loss. This is pretty much negligible at this point. I mean, one more trade. You know, we lost 15 pips today. When earlier last week we made 1,000 pips. You know what I mean? Like,
Exactly.
it's pretty much negligible.
I want to
So manage
a
your
drop in
risk.
the
push
pond.
down.
Right, exactly. And it's consistently do this over a long period of time, you'll see the results come out. One of these trades will eventually hit positive, and they'll just go up like a rocket ship. You know,
As
it
they
didn't
do.
happen today. Right. You know, it didn't happen today. It didn't happen today. It's just not my time. So we'll take today with how it went. We'll journal it. We'll see. You know. I'll write this in my trading journal, say this is what happened today. I did everything correct. I like the way I entered in. I like my thought process while exiting. And that's it. Take my L's and move forward for tomorrow. See what presents itself.
Beautiful.
Awesome.
But yeah, it's very quick exit and entry.
Thank you.
entry
I
exit.
still want to take
Yes,
that trade.
but it's important that you really protect your capital. So
Yeah,
this is the
absolutely.
most
Finger is
important
feeling
thing.
so
And
itchy.
I think that 90% of any trading is really protect the capital.
Now's a
and
good time right
money
here.
management.
Boom.
If you do that well, I think
Take a little scalp
it's
scalp.
really
Oh,
it's really the whole
Yeah.
job.
oh, that was it.
And that too,
Right
like
there,
as
the
you said,
touch.
Nandan, you
The
can note
touch.
it down. I also find very importantly if
And
you
the
have
scalp.
a journal
Bam, see?
to, you
Damn
know,
it.
describe your emotions, that you follow your plan.
Easy.
And if you did, then
Easy
tap on the back.
money.
You know, did nothing
Yeah.
wrong.
Is what it do it
Absolutely.
Follow the
again?
strategy. There's going to be losses. I mean, everyone here
Let's
that's
see.
watching
Let's,
us live
let's
should
wait
probably
for
know
a
by
trace
now
back up to here.
there's no such thing as 100%.
See how it
win rate.
reacts when it hits
Yeah.
here.
So if you've done everything right, you've done everything right. You've done your job. So, you know, that's it. Come back
Yeah.
the next day, try again.
That was it. That was
Right.
the touch.
Save your money for tomorrow.
Yeah.
Who knows?
That was the
Today you
touch.
can have a bad day, you know, or just a
That
whatever
was
day, and tomorrow
you
you can have one
get
of the
an
best days
extra
in your trading
chance
career
to
ever.
jump in.
As long as you
So,
don't, take that really, the bad way,
yeah,
and it's
yeah.
not revenge trading, and you say, I want to make it back, and that's when everything just the wheels come off.
Yeah, you know, I haven't taken a trade this whole week, and part of the end of last week, I hadn't really taken a trade, and I really am angsty. I want to get into a trade. I want to make pips, but part of this is understanding that, okay, nothing worked out today. It's best to just walk away. I want to, as much as I want to revenge trade, get those 15 pips back. Just walk away, man. Understand it, where it's coming from, and it's okay. It's okay.
It's all good. It's all about surviving for the next day, right?
Yeah.
Risk management.
Yes.
This is a long game. It's not a short, quick, make money and there you go sort of thing.
Yeah. Yeah, sorry, it was a little bit hectic. You know, I get a little
all good.
focused,
All good.
so I'm not
That
talking.
was fun to watch.
Yeah, I wish it did go into positive so I could show you guys what my next plan and process was. But I think today was good. You know, it shows what happens when things don't go your way.
Quite on my side, but anyway. Then we also got Robert that just posted something there. That's what I have to keep on control. Still fighting.
Yes.
Yeah, Robert, it's a difficult one, but it comes with experience, I suppose, right? The longer you do this, the better you get at it. As long as you work on it, right? It's not just like let your emotions like creep out in the middle of nowhere and you fall for it every single time. So
yeah, I'm pretty hard-headed, so I've done it so many times where it's just killed my emotions. I mean, it's just, you can't do much about it. You're presented with what you're given, so take
absolutely.
But yeah,
well,
guys,
I think that's about it. I think we reached the end of our session. Igor, well done with that trade. Nandan, good trades, bud. Followed your setups. I didn't get in one at all, but yesterday I took 3, so hopefully something happens tomorrow.
Yes.
But,
we got another comment really quickly. Robert says it does. He says, I have trouble keeping control. I'm still fighting it, and I get depressed afterwards. Yeah, I understand, Robert.
Yeah, the same thing.
I understand. Get yourself back to baseline. Dust off, dust your shoulders off, reload, rearm, go out on the attack tomorrow. So keep your head up for tomorrow. That's it.
That's it.
Beautiful.
Right, Lance, I believe we back on tomorrow together again. So
I wish you the best, guys.
Have a great rest of your day to all our viewers. Thanks for watching. Stay on for our next group of coaches coming on, and we'll see you guys again tomorrow morning. Cheers.
All right, guys.
All right, we're in the negative on these trades, but that's just the way it goes, and it is definitely time to head on to work. We will see you guys later. Maybe we should have, and we probably lose the trade overall now because we're looking at the ultra long term. This is a funded. This is the other one is not. I think at that point, I think on these funded ones, I think we should, until we get back to positive. We're gonna see how this trade goes. Until we get back to positive, I think we do take the small gains. I mean, we'd have to take, shoot, we're 100 and something down, right? So let's just say 50-cent gains. That's like taking 300 positive trades of taking those small gains. But that is in this, what we're gonna lose here if that hits is three of those trades. And with our trading abilities right now, probably would have been better to go ahead and take the small one. It's okay. You live and learn. You figure out what you did. I think we are looking at the overall long term, and we put really tight stop losses. I think we have to be okay with bigger losses. Like the swing should have been up here. But to be fair, I'm not willing to risk $5 to make $5. Alright, yep, it looks like we're gonna go ahead and lose that trade, but it's okay. All the love, guys. We will see you tomorrow. Or later today. Actually, we'll see you later today. We do have another printer coming in. We'll do have to do some cleanup, but that's about it.